Hey everybody, it's Damien from Studio Pro Musica once again. I want to talk to you today about your development as a guitarist and really your development as a musician. I get a lot of students who approach me for lessons and they've played for many years very often, and they just haven't been able to put it all together. And there are different reasons for this, lack of knowledge of the fretboard, whatever. Almost always, the student is lacking one thing though, and that's a really great sense of rhythm. Rhythm is the key really to everything. And even people who want to be kind of flashy lead guitar players, I always tell them, rhythm, a strong sense of rhythm, what I call the internal metronome, that will make you a better guitar player. And what seems to be a common thread for a lot of people that come to me is they've kind of learned on their own and they've never really jammed with people. And today's world, maybe you're an adult and you have a full-time job and maybe you have a family and all this. You don't have a lot of time to hang out in a garage, with your buddies playing the same 5 songs for 3 hours. But let me tell you, that kind of repetition is invaluable. So what I encourage students to do is take something very simple, a 3-chord riff or a 4-chord riff, play it over and over and over. Play it until you're bored. And the reason you play it until you're bored is because when you get bored playing that 3 or 4-chord riff over and over, you'll start to internalize the beat and you'll start on your own to find different rhythmic embellishments that you can work in. And you'll be working your sense of rhythmic placement. You're not thinking to yourself consciously, oh, I've got a beat and a half. What can I put in here? Maybe a little arpeggio. You're not thinking of it that way, but you have this awareness of what a beat and a half translates to in this song at this tempo. And you just naturally start to put stuff in. It's what I call your rhythmic awareness and your sense of placement. Okay? So here's a quick way to get started off that. I strongly recommend you find a drum loop. There's tons you can find online. Play this to a drum loop. Get a good loud rock drum beat going with a good loud snare drum on 2 and 4. Okay? And if you're away from your computer, there are lots of drum loops available for tablets and for phones. Okay? Whether you're an Android user or an iPhone user, you can find sort of metronome apps that utilize drum sounds rather than just click, click, click like you get in a metronome. And I strongly recommend you use that. So let's say you've got your drum loop loaded up or your metronome with drum beats ready to go. Take a 3-chord pattern, something really dumb and really cliched like E to D to A. And maybe you start out with a simple rhythm pattern like down, up, mute, 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 down, up, mute. Okay, now you might recognize this. It's like 8 million rock songs. It's one of the most common chord sequences in all of rock and pop and blues-influenced rock music and folk music and country and just about everything else. A 1 chord to a flat 7 chord to a 4 chord. But if you get that nice steady rhythm, and I'm using a right-hand mute on beats 2 and 4 to give it that nice kind of tight feeling. Well, you play that for a minute, or really even 30 seconds, you're going to start to get bored. And so you start to work other little things in. Notice how I can just add like an extra little low note. It's actually on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I'm starting to get bored with that, and maybe I try to work something else in. I'm going down, up, mute, low note, root note of the chord, strum, 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string. Okay? And the count would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it fits perfectly into my 4/4 measure. And from there you just have to keep jamming it, keep jamming it, keep jamming it, and find more and more and more things to do. It's not really about learning new vocabulary in terms of licks or notes that you can play. It's all about rhythmic placement. And you get that by jamming it till you're bored and just trying to put stuff in and find where it all fits. And what you can put in is virtually endless. So I'm going to kind of play myself out and throw in a bunch of different stuff, and hopefully you'll get the idea that the more you can jam something very simple, it's simple by design so that you're not thinking, oh, what's next in this song? Are we in the chorus yet? No, we're still in the verse. Oh gosh, how do you shape an A minor 9 chord? Nah, keep it simple. Keep it simple so your brain can focus on rhythm.